What's going on out there, Fight Fam? What's up with you? It is the homie, main man, made man in the building. Y'all already know how I get down. We talking boxing. Once again, it is an honor and a pleasure. I repeat, an honor and a pleasure to be on here with all of the boxing fam and the boxing fans. It's Saturday, so you know what that means. It's our time now, man. Y'all already know, man. Salute to all of the fam out there that catches this live. Salute to everybody that catches this on the playback, man. Y'all are well appreciated, and you already know. Salute to all the fam that's already rolling up in this joint. You know what I'm saying? I see y'all pulling on up. I see my man Tank Nation say, man, damn. Could I holler at Ego? He done been blocked for going against Ryan Garcia, for going against crying Ryan. I feel bad for that, man. Salute to my man William Smith in the building. We got Northern Ireland in the building. Salute to everybody up in this joint. Silver Salomo, I see you, homie. Salute to you, fam. Salute to you. You know, we about to talk this boxing, man. It's another rainy day out here in the DMV, man. I'll be right in front of y'all in a minute. Just give me a minute. It's another rainy day out here in the DMV, man. It's coming down out here, fight fans. Cats and dogs. So hopefully everybody in the DMV area, man, their power gonna stay on. Y'all ain't gonna have no issues with that. Hopefully my power stay on and we make it through this stream with no problems. Because we got a lot to talk about. Your boy ain't been on here all week long. So we got a lot to talk about. We got things to catch up about. You hear me? But before we do, let me say, man, all week long, fight fans, your boy been baffled. Now, let me just take a minute before we get into all of this boxing greatness that we got to talk about. Let me just say, man, like, I'm a fish tank man. For those who don't know, I'm big on aquariums. So now my last fish, my very last fish that I had out of the whole family school of fish that I had in there for years, the last one just kicked the bucket. Rest in peace to Moby. Do not disrespect Moby on this channel. Rest in peace to Moby. So he kicked the bucket. So now I'm redoing my tank. For anybody who out there who in the fish tanks, y'all already know this is like some fun stuff. Like when you got a beginning tank, you cycle in the water, you getting the water all prepped. The question is, what fish do I want to get, man? I didn't had them all. I didn't have piranhas. I didn't had cyclids. I didn't had the African cyclids. I didn't had the Oscars. I didn't had the Red Devils. I want something different. First, I was going to go koi. I was like, you know what? I can go ahead and give me a couple koi, but them things get too goddamn big. Last time I was in Vegas, bro. They had like a little pool out front of the Flamingo, and they had some koi in there, man. It was the most beautiful fish you've ever, but they just get too damn big. All the boy got is a 55-gallon tank. That's all I got. I thought about koi, maybe, but I want something that can coexist with other fish. Nothing that's gonna kill everything in the damn bowl. Piranhas are too dirty. Turtles, too dirty. Any suggestions out there, fight fans? Any of my fish tank aquarium lovers, man? I'm looking for the right fish. I don't know. Out of Cartier in the building, man. Get some angel fish. Bitches love them. Angel fish. That's a good one. I heard angel fish. Yeah, I heard, and they pretty. Yeah, I heard the women, man, they melt in front of angel fish. You might got a point right there, fam. I thought about a shot, a little baby shot, but them things get too big. I need something that's gonna stay in my 55-gallon tank and not kill. Something that can coexist. I don't know. If y'all think of something as we go along, holla at the boy, man. But we got some boxing to talk about, so let me get right in front of y'all, man. I can't seem to keep tropical fish. It's difficult to maintain the temperatures here, William Smith. Yeah, I got a heater in mind, bro. I stay fresh water. You know what I mean? I don't mess around with the salt water, just way too much maintenance. Just gotta stay on top of it too much, so I stay with fresh water. I'm usually good with the tropical ones. I keep them alive. But I'm really into it. Like I'm into the pH, keeping the pH of the water right and making sure that the bacteria is in there, is eating up this and doing that. I'm all into that. You know what I mean? So I do a good job of keeping them alive. I kept the last crop alive for years. You know what I mean? So, and I don't want one of them like $5,000 fish. For what? When I can go down to the store and get a $20 fish that look just as pretty. But it is what it is. Let me know if y'all come up with anything, man. Let me get in front of y'all, fight fans. Hold on one second. Let me get the music stopped. And let's get to the boxing, shall we? Because we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about out here, fight fans. So let me just stop the music for a minute. Boom. You know, man, let's cut the music. Let's get the letters off the screen. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a lot to talk about, fight fans. We got a lot to talk about. So without further ado, like I said, if y'all say anything, any names of fishes that can coexist with other fish throughout of this live stream, do not hesitate to put it in the comment section because I am trying to get right, bro. I'm just trying to figure out what is the best fish. I might just try to make my own species, like make two different species and shit. I don't know. I'm way too bored. Let's get it going though, man. So, what's been happening in the fight game, fight fans? What have I been missing? You know what I mean? I guess we had some fights this week, right? Some fights this week played out. Entertaining. We had an upset, a really big upset this week. Joshua Greer loses to Michael Plania. Did y'all see that fight, man? I ain't even get a chance to talk about that fight. I kind of mentioned it, I think, on the last live stream that we did about Crawford. But, yo, man, what a fight, bro. Joshua Greer taking this early loss in his career, right on the verge of a title shot. I mean, right there, bro. Right there. He was number 1 in the WBO, number 2 in the IBF. He was right there, fam. He was hoping to probably get involved with getting the winner of the Monster Inoue versus the Casemiro fight. After that plays out, shoot, man, maybe he could have got a chance at that dude if he would have got past this fight. But Michael Plania with the left hook like Scorpion. He was like, get over here with that. It was just like coming out of nowhere. Like if the fight be going on, you know, Greer standing on the outside, trying to box on the outside, just out of nowhere, the left hook. It was like a dragon tail, champ. It was like a dragon tail. It was just like whipping, and Greer said he didn't see it. It was coming from a crazy looking type angle, bro. That was a crazy ass left hook, man. Crazy ass left hook. Joshua Greer quit the game plan in the second half of the fight. He started to realize, I need to go into the inside on this guy. I need to take the fight to this man. He started to do that and had a lot of success. But as most say, a little too little too late. But damn that left hook, champ. That joint was a monster. Then he put him down twice with that joint. And he wasn't really doing like a whole bunch in the rounds in between. But just Josh had to fight not knowing when that left hook was going to come out. It's like after he got knocked down that first time by it, the next couple rounds, he was so cautious because he just didn't know when it was going to get whipped out. I mean, that thing had some pop to it, champ. So salute to Michael Plania for getting the upset, man. Minor setback for a major comeback for the young boy, man. He going to be all right. He going to be all right. He has a strong mind. I'm listening to the way he talk. He's talking like a champion. He's not making no excuses. He's saying he went in there, he got hit with punches he didn't see. He took the loss. He's not making no excuses. He's not saying the scales were wrong, this was wrong, that was wrong. He's taking this loss like a man and he's walking away. But he was in such a good position, bro. Worked his way all the way. And this was a short notice opponent. That's the crazy part. These little short notice fights can go wrong. That people don't understand the danger when you be talking about these little short notice. They can go wrong. You know, with these dark horse type fights. You feel me? They can go wrong. And in this case, it clearly went wrong. I like Joshua Greer, though. He's a sharp fighter. And he clearly, I mean, if they was to run this back, I mean, I still would probably even favor Joshua Greer now knowing what to expect. But he knows that the game plan, I should have took the fight to this man. I should have took that left hand away. I should have took that left hook away. But he didn't do it until too late. That thing has some snap on it, thing. We're going to start calling Michael Plania the snapdragon around this mug, Joe. Because that joint just like, whoosh. It was like, whoosh. That thing was like that, champ. So what a fight, man. So unfortunately, first upset, short notice opponent. It goes like that sometimes, champ. Now, the next one I want to talk about is this one. Jesse Magdaleno gets past what was his name? Yenifel Vicente. Now, this fight ended in a DQ. We all seen it because of the low blows that was going down in this fight. And according to Jesse Magdaleno, he feels as though Vicente did this shit on purpose. He feels as though that this wasn't like, because he was warned several times, which he was. And he felt as though that Vicente got a little frustrated because of the way that Jesse was fighting him. And he wasn't having too much success landing anything with some pepper on it, just hitting a bunch of gloves. So Jesse feels like he got frustrated and start hitting him with constant low blows. According to Jesse Magdaleno, I rewatched the fight. I counted a total of 8 low blows. He says that I'm a fighter, man. I got to deal with what I got to deal with. And I got to keep pushing. At the end of the day, I'm a strong Mexican fighter. I got these cojones like crazy. And I just had to do what I had to do. And I had to keep my composure, end quote. Good for you. Because we're going to talk a lot about you for a second here, Jesse Magdaleno. We got a lot more to talk about with you. You know, because I hear you out here talking about Gary Russell Jr. So we got some things to talk about. But the fact of the matter is, in this particular fight, Jesse fought a really good fight for this opponent. Now, this dude, Vicente, hey, he was having some luck. I mean, he was having some minor successes on Jesse Magdaleno. Was he hitting him with a lot of peppery shots? No. Was it crystal clean, getting through the guard, connecting with the chin? Maybe a lot of them wasn't. Some of them did. But you know, he started hitting him with the low blows. He was warned several times. And I think the thing is, when you fight Jesse Magdaleno, when you look at how he fights, right, southpaw, he keeps up in the high guard, and his defense is slow. And I think a lot of fighters believe that they can beat his hands downstairs to the body, so they keep going down there. They keep on going down there. And in a lot of cases, it works. You go back to the Dog Bay fight, And that's exactly how Dog Bay was doing. So, I mean, I think what it is, yeah, he got hit with these low blows. But I think he was seeing something. Like, I got to keep hitting him downstairs because his hands are so slow to get there. His hands are so, they're not getting down there in time. So he just kept on trying it. Now, Vicente has a history of shit like this. If you go back and if you look into it, he's a low blow champ. You know what I'm saying? That's what he do. So it is what it is. Maybe this was something that he did do out of frustration. I don't know. But the thing of the matter is this. Jesse Magdaleno is saying that he wants Gary Russell Jr. He is saying that he wants either Gary Russell Jr. or Shakur Stevens. And he's in a beautiful position to get these fights. Let's talk about it. Now, we know that the word on the curve today is, what AB and Gary Russell Jr. says. Man, I don't give a damn about that story. That shit is smoke and mirrors. It's bullshit. Let's focus, DMV. Let's focus here. The real target is this guy, Jesse Magdaleno. That is the real target. This guy has an actual good shot of actually facing Gary Russell Jr. So let's drill down on Mr. Magdaleno. Now, according to Jesse Magdaleno, let me get the artwork up here. What am I doing? Hold on. Because yeah, we definitely got to talk about this dude. We got to talk. Okay, according to Jesse Magdaleno. Hold on 1 second. All right, we're going to talk about this. All right. According to Jesse Magdaleno, when he's speaking about Gary Russell Jr., he says, and I quote, and you'll see it floating around up here as always, he's a tremendous fighter. He's an ex-Olympian. He's a world champion for a reason. He's made his mark in boxing for sure. I take my head off to him and nothing away from him. But I'm a younger fighter. I'm a little bit more active than him. And I know I have what it takes to beat a fighter like him. That's cool. That's cool. They all feel that way before the fight. You know, you ain't been active. You only fight once a year. There ain't nothing that you can do. I'm younger. I'm more active. I'm getting in there. I'm going through the grind. And they puffed up. And they look at Gary, you a bit older. Yeah, you sharp. Yeah, you got good boxing IQ. But my youth, my speed, my power, I'll do it every time. And it's like when we've been down this road before, fight fans, so many times with Gary Russell Jr. It don't matter. You know what I mean? I'm not here. I'm looking at your style, homeboy. And we're going to talk more about that. But come on, man. I mean, they all feel that way, don't they? According to Jesse Magdaleno, I stepped in there with one of the baddest dudes at 122 pounds, Nonito Donaire. And I took it to him. Why can't I do that to Russell? I have the talent. I have the speed and the power. I have the great mindset as well as he does. Styles make fights. And I think it would be a tremendous fight to have. End quote. You know, I hear you, bruh. You know, big up yourself. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to, like I said, we're going to break down his style. We're going to break down his style. Last quote. He says that his hand speed really surprises everybody. This is the reason he thinks that Gary Russell beats everybody. His hand speed really surprises everybody. And then he makes the fight his fight. I think a lot of fighters don't know how to transition and make the fight their fight and make him come to you. You're always going to him. Try to make him fight. But I think with my style, my movement, I'm more of a boxer puncher. I can be a brawl at the same time, but I think my style fits perfect with him. We're both very strong lefties. We're both very fast lefties. I think me and him will hit it off great. End quote. Sound good. Sound good. That sounds very, very good. And salute to Jesse Magdaleno for actually having the cojones to actually call out Gary and not be bullshitting. And actually be in a good position to do such. Because as you'll see with one of the things floating around out here, I put his boxing ranking up there, and he is ranked in a very beautiful position. Beautiful position, especially after this win. He is now number one. He is number one in the WBC, where Gary Russell Jr. is the champion. He is number one. He is number 4 in the WBO, where Bob Arum, top rank, which Magdaleno fights for, they always have access to that belt. And you see right here, the 4 that's in front of them, Carl Frampton, Michael Conlon, those are still good fights en route to that title, to that WBO title. Now, the WBO title is held by Shakur Stevens. They don't know if Shakur Stevens is going to vacate or not. If the Shakur Stevens vacates, Jesse can face one of the other top 4 guys possibly for that vacant title. Or he could just shut the hell up, you know, stay true to his word, and don't do anything and remain number one in the WBC where the mandatory will come around. What should he do? Which way should he go? Which way should he go? Now, the mandatory should be coming around by at least sometime next year. More than likely next February, because Gary just fought this year in February where he fought King Tug. When you look at the rankings in the WBC as of today, and Jesse is number one, I don't think that the WBC would make him fight any of the other guys that's under him for like an eliminator or something like that. I don't think that'll happen, because you got underneath him, look, Kid Galahad, who's focused right now on Josh Warrington, and you got King Tug. King Tug has recently fought Gary Russell Jr. Now, they may say King Tug versus Jesse Magdaleno. I don't know. But I would think if the WBC wants the big fight, and if they want to call Gary Russell Jr.'s mandatory more sooner than later, well, it's going to be Jesse Magdaleno. It's going to be Jesse Magdaleno. We don't know what Shakur is going to do. This is the chance. You can walk right into a title shot. And given that Magdaleno fights for top rank, for anybody wondering, it don't matter. This is exactly how Vasyl Lomachenko and Gary Russell Jr. lined up. Exactly. Yeah, Loma was with top rank, but it came to purse bid. It has to happen. Nothing stops it. So what are you doing, Jesse? Don't go nowhere. You can go after Shakur and bet on that gamble and call Frampton and whoever you got. Michael Conlon, from what I'm understanding, the other side is saying he's too green. He ain't ready yet. He's only got, like 11 fights? He ain't ready. I don't know what's up with Carl Frampton. Maybe they'll do a Carl Frampton and Magdalena. I don't know. But I would think you got a golden opportunity right here, player. You got Gary Russell Jr. right here in front of you. What you going to do? Or you just talking? I think you talking. He says, he goes on and says that he wants to come back in September. He says he wants to stay active, and he's down to wait for Gary Russell Jr. if he has to. He's stating that he wants to fight and stay active. He'll take another lower level fight if need be, or he'll go right into a title fight if need be. You know what I'm saying? That's all music to the ears of Mr. Gary Russell Jr. Now, we know Gary Russell Jr. is talking a lot about going up to 135 pounds. He's saying that's where he wants to go if none of the big names at 126 want to step up. Now, I think this should be worthy of consideration. I know people may say, well, man, because I see Gary going in there. We're going to get into styles in a minute. I see Gary going in there winning this fight. You know what I mean? But Magdaleno is some sort of name. He's a former champion at 122 pounds, right? This is a fight that falls right in Gary Russell Jr.'s lap, where Gary will walk away with majority of the purse, right? I mean, it's a name. It's a name. It could be argued that Jesse has more name recognition than King Tug and probably Gary's last couple opponents. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So in the line of JoJo Diaz and King Tug, I mean, this ain't bad, bro. I mean, this is not the worst fight in the world. Mainly, he's a former champion. He has some name recognition. How y'all feel about that fight? Top Rank trying to make Conlon versus Vila for the vacant WBO if Shakur vacates. Well, if that happens, Lawrence, well, guess what? He got the WBC. There we go. No excuses. Maybe this is the reason why he putting his foot on the gas as much as he is about Gary. But no excuses, fam. No excuses. If that happens, if Bob gives that opportunity away, there you go. Right there, number one. It don't get no better than that. Let's talk styles real quick. Let's talk the style of Jesse Magdaleno compared to Gary Russell Jr. What do I think about Jesse Magdaleno's style? Jesse Magdaleno is very reactionary. First off the skip. You know what I'm saying? The dude reacts to whatever the other fighter does. He's just that kind of fighter. Someone call him a counterpuncher. But he's more, even when he's being aggressive, he's being reactionary. This is the reason that Dog Bay was able to have so much success to him. You know what I mean? Because Dog Bay consistently remained to be first. Consistently. And if you're going to sit there and let him get off on you like this and then try to retaliate afterwards or catch him with some sort of counterpunching, that's a risky strategy. But that is the bread and butter of Jesse Magdaleno. He comes forward in a lot of cases, sure, but he still lets you get off. Whenever he gets off first, he's a much better fighter. I thought that's the way he beat Nonito Donaire. Because in that fight, he fought more different than in most majority of his fights. He was not much reactionary against Donaire. He was actually taking the fight and being first against Nonito Donaire. In a lot of cases, he doesn't do that. Even against Vicente the other night. That's how Vicente was just getting off all them punches. That is Jesse Magdaleno. You can't do that against Gary Russell Jr., homeboy. And this is a consistent thing with you, Holmes. This ain't nothing I'm seeing sporadically. I'm seeing this in a lot of fights with Jesse Magdaleno. Also notice that smaller fighters give him trouble. They make it to the inside on Magdaleno, and he doesn't fight that good on the inside. Too many long looping shots he like to throw. Dog Bay got on the inside and beat his ass. You know what I'm saying? His hands are way too slow on the inside. Gary will get in there and hit him with a six-piece combination and throw him a Sprite and say, have a Sprite, and then get out of there before he even knew what the fuck happened. Too slow, bro. And he's not that fast on the inside. That's just what I noticed. He lets fighters get off. He does. This is something, I don't know if it's just, I'm telling you, man, when he comes out jabbing, pawing, measuring, and then maybe looking to come back with a 1-2, he's a much better fighter. He just doesn't stick to it. It's sporadic at best. You know what I'm saying? He's a good puncher, and he has a lot of heart. Now, I will give those things to him. He's a good puncher, and he has a lot of heart. And I think he's a good fighter. He's not a bad fighter. He's not a shit fighter, but levels to this, homeboy. And Gary Russell Jr., to me, a smaller fighter with a shorter reach, with faster punches, to me, will beat the dog shit out of Jesse Magdaleno. And what? And that's how I feel. So this is the real threat right here, DMV. If Gary decides to get this guy a shot, because he is the real champ at 126 pounds, if Gary decides to get this man a shot, then guess what? There you go. There you go. This will be a real opponent. This is not an opponent that we got to bullshit. What if maybe it's Top Rank going to do XYZ? This fight can happen. No obstruction. No obstruction. So let's keep our eye on this. And if you're going to keep on speaking on Gary, speak it right. You talking about you got the ring IQ? You think that your boxing mind going to hang with? Man, please, bro. I see not. So we got to move on because we got other stuff to talk about. But let's keep our eye on this. Let's see how this materializes. The WBC, according to the brother Lawrence Williams, who's always on point, he says that the WBC, the WBO, but at the WBC, it falls right in his lap. He don't got to do a damn thing. All he got to do is go home, chill out, and stay in shape and get ready. That's all he will have to do. As far as Adrian Bronner, like I said, and Gary Russell, who gives a damn? You know what I'm saying? It ain't happening. Ain't no realistic talk. It's just crap. Whatever the fuck. We moving right along. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Let's go to the next story. Let's talk about the cancellation, unfortunately, of Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. Did y'all heard? I know y'all heard about this. I know y'all were just as disappointed about this as I was, bro. You know what I mean? But that's the way this thing going, man. Coronavirus is killing every goddamn thing out here, bro. So it seems to me that this fight don't look like it got a chance right now because it's going to come down to money. And if it's going to happen, well, somebody going to have to dig deep. As we all heard, the possibly historic fight between Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor has now basically looks to be off. I don't think it's been officially said off, but Amanda says she's pulling out and she ain't fighting for the low. It's basically over money. According to Amanda Serrano and her team, and I quote, on 4 occasions, Amanda has signed on for this fight. She signed to fight in late 2019 in New York, but Taylor opted to move up in weight. Then we accepted the fight for early 2020 in the same city, but Taylor's team thought that they needed more time to train. Then that was moved to May 2nd in England. But then a month later and a half, the COVID-19 pandemic came, and it was moved to the 4th of July. All of this, and then accepting a purse that's not up to par with the magnitude of the fight. But since Amanda wants to make history for Puerto Rico, we still accept it. Now they're offering us the fight for August, but removing almost 50% of Amanda's purse. However, they are taking less from Taylor. I'm going to stop right there. So it all comes down to money. They also took a shot at Lou DiBella too, didn't they? Yeah, it all come down to money, man. Damn, champ. And they told Lou DiBella, you better get something together, basically in a nutshell, because you only got a couple fights. We signed a short-term deal with you, homeboy. Short-term. You got it. The clock is ticking. That's what they telling Lou DiBella. So basically, it all comes down over money in a nutshell. It all comes down. And I understand because Serrano building up to this fight, if you go back to some of her earlier quotes, all she talked about was money. And some people even alluded to that. Come on, let's cut the shit. Let's not act like it's about anything else more than just money. It ain't a duck thing. It ain't this. It ain't that. It's money. Because all she talked about leading up to this fight was how much money, how this is the biggest financial fight for her, and she's going to make so much money, and she was giving so much props to Katie Taylor. She was giving so much props to Eddie Hearn and things like that and everybody, and then it was all about the money. And the second that she says 50% of my purse going to get pulled, oh, hell nah. And I feel her. She should be respected. Unfortunately, the COVID-19 right now, what can we do? And what can anybody do? Now, the zone ain't want to find the money for this. I'm shocked. I'm really shocked because this is an historic fight. This is like a big fucking deal. I don't know how much you got to really get these ladies, but I wouldn't think top dollar. And then they were going to put them on the 4th of July card, right? Wasn't that one of Eddie Hearn's like backyard fights? They was going to be on Eddie Hearn's backyard fights. A historic fight like this, I think they were going to put it in Eddie Hearn's backyard. But whatever. But the fact is, man, this is very unfortunate, man. You got an undisputed champion here. You got a 7-division champion here, man. Oh, man. This is historic. A 7-division champion right here, man. Salute to both of these ladies. This would have did big shit for women's boxing. Big things. Salute to both of them. I hope they get it together. I hope they don't totally scrap it at the worst case. I hope they kick it down the road. Just say, hey, man, we ain't got the money right now. Ain't nobody making no money. We ain't drawing nothing. The zone don't want to give us no money. So, hey, we'll just push this down to 2021 or maybe the end of this year like they doing everybody else. So I hope that happens. But according to Serrano's team, they're willing to take her back down to 126 pounds where she is a world champion and maybe get some lower tier fights down there in the meantime, between time. This is unfortunate. It's unfortunate, bro. I wanted to see this shit, man. I really did, man. I really did. Monty in the building. What's up, brother? What's up with you, homie? Salute to my brother, Monty Brown TV. What's going on with you, homie? Just cooling, man. Caught the live last night. Caught it late, man. Solid as always. Solid as always. You know what I'm saying? Caught it real late, but great listen on the way in last night, bro. All day. Top Rank trying to make we already read that, Lawrence Williams. He says that, Lawrence says that Frampton is fighting Herring at 130 at the end of the year. So Frampton tied up. So, well, yeah, WBC, fam. WBC all day. Frampton, that's the biggest name out of them 4 people. That was the biggest one. If it ain't Frampton or Conlon, if they both tied up, it's a wrap. WBC or bust. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel, man. Sounds a lot like Eddie Hearn behind the bullshit. Same with him blockading AJ Wilder and Dillian and Wilder and Ortiz. Yeah, it's just a money thing, man. They don't want to pay nobody, bro. That's what it all is at the end of the day. Everybody over the zone is now crying, man. All of those DAZN fighters going to be whining. We just heard Crying Ryan the other day. Crying Ryan, you know what I mean? He was out here just tears all over social media. DAZN fighters are hurting over there, champ. DAZN don't want to pay nobody. I would just think that this is one to just take the L for, man. Certain ones, they got to be looking at like, you know what? We just going to have to take a small loss on this one. I would think of something of this magnitude. This don't do it. I don't know what the fuck gonna do it. Let's move on, fight fans. Let's move on. This is unfortunate, though, man. And this breaks my boxing heart. You know what I'm saying? It breaks my boxing heart. It really do. Let's move on to the next. All right, to this one here. I want to take a step back for a minute and talk something real light because I'm real proud of this dude, man. I really am, bro. And that is, I'm actually looking forward to this, man. That is Jamie Foxx. Y'all hear the news out. Jamie Foxx is going to be playing Iron Mike Tyson. This may be old news to some of you, but it's damn new to me. You know what I'm saying? Jamie Foxx going to be playing Iron Mike Tyson. He been letting out pictures of his new physique and shit, man. I'm like, what? Jamie Foxx going to be playing Iron Mike Tyson? Man, we got to talk about this, y'all. I say, yo, man, I think he can pull it off, dog. Man, Jamie is a hell of an actor, man. Jamie is that next level actor, man. He says that he showed off his newly bulked up frame on Thursday during an episode of Catching Up with Mark Barnum on Instagram, some Instagram show. So he showed this particular picture right here, man. And yeah, he getting that Tyson physique. He say he working hard. He said the only thing he having problems with is his lower half. He said, but his upper half, he said he ain't got no legs, but his upper half, he on point. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it says that Jamie Foxx is known for having previously impersonated Mike Tyson in the past. He has sought help from the boxing champ himself to master the role. It also says that back in 2014 that Mike Tyson confirmed that Jamie Foxx will be playing him in a film and will be using CGI to help him portray the heavyweight at various stages of his life and career. So I don't know if that's real talk or what, but they saying that Mike said this shit since back in 2014. So this could have been in the making for quite some time. I do recall Jamie saying this has been shopped around since like 2016. You know what I mean? So this is cool, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to this, man. This is going to be like a Tyson redo. The first thing that hit my mind, right, was you going to have to compare this one to the one that's already out there. The one that Michael Jai White did. I liked it, that joint. That joint was all right. I thought it was all right. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? He did a good job. Only thing was, I thought that the dude that they used to play Don King was a little too soft for my liking. I'm like, Don ain't saying like he ain't had no sugar in his tank. You know what I mean? But that was a soft-ass Don King. And they made Mike look a little pedo in that joint. But other than that, you know what I mean? Like, yo, it was still a good performance all in all, I thought. Well, I guess they got to update it. You know, they got to redo it, give it a modern spin or a modern twist or a modern look, whatever the case may be. But, yeah, man, I think Jamie going to be able to pull it off, dog. Jamie done did Tukey Williams. Man, he done did, man, Ray Charles. When it come to biopics, bro, Jamie knocks them shits out the park, man. He knocked, dog, I don't think nobody ever did a biopic better than he did Ray Charles. I can't think of, like, one actor that acted just like the actual, like, dog, the way he did Ray Charles. Man, you can't tell me Jamie ain't going to be able to pull this shit off. He might do, man. And I mean, some people get it right. Some people get it wrong. For example, for me, I thought Will got it wrong. I thought Will got it wrong in Ali. I mean, that's just me, though. I thought Will got it wrong in Ali, bro. I just didn't. I don't know. I thought they could have found somebody else. Will, he tried his best. He did that. It wasn't the worst job. The Ali movie, though, is skipped over so much. You know what I mean? I hope they don't do that with the Tyson movie. I hope they go in. Like, you know, a lot of stuff that the original Tyson movie kind of skirted around, you know what I mean? But in the Ali movie, I just thought that they could have did a better job. I thought it was okay. You dig? The one that Will Smith. I just thought it was just okay. Jamie did Boudini Brown and Ali. Oh, yeah, that's right. He was in Ali. He was the best probably actor in the joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he hit that, man, when he was playing that role, that was the best, to me, role in the movie. You know what I mean? Like, Jamie knocked that shit out the park, champ. Man, Jamie got skills. You hear me? So I'm dying to see him do Mike, man. Mike says he looking forward to this, man. Mike got nothing but good stuff. Just seen him on a recent interview speaking on this, man. He got nothing but good stuff to say about this, man. Go ahead, Jamie, man. Do that shit, bro. I hope he knock it out, man. And I hope he knock it out the park. Critically acclaimed the whole nine. He already kind of favor Mike a little bit up close. Maybe it's because it's an up close picture, but I don't know. Y'all see a little similarity right there? It's a little bit. You know, maybe, no. Ray Charles was incredible. Jamie is one of the best method actors ever. I agree with you 100%, Red Cliff. Sorry about that, fam. Red Cliff. You know what I mean? I agree with you 100%. Great actor, bro. Great method actor, man. And he came from so long. I mean, since the days of In Living Color, all the way to he on that level now. He like up there. Tom Hanks, all them cats. Al Pacino. He up there. A-lister. Salute to Jamie Foxx. Who'd have thought Jamie came this way? This far. Since the Jamie Foxx show. You did, like, since In Living Color playing Wanda. And now look at the man now, bro. I'm a big fan of Jamie Foxx. All his movies are solid. All his movies are good. I'm looking forward to him portraying Mike Tyson. And I think he's going to knock that shit out the park. He's going to knock that shit out the park. We're going to move on. It's kind of funny we speaking on this because this next story actually has something to do with, hold on 1 second. All right, Jamie, we holler at you. We're going to go to the next one. I want to speak on this one, actually. We're going to go to this story instead. And this is going to be dealing with my historians out there. This is going to be with the historians. There's something this week. I was having a conversation. That's what led to this story right here. I was having a conversation with someone, and they were saying that they wish they would have seen the rematch between George Foreman and Muhammad Ali. And they asked, why, my main man, why wasn't these two, they never ran it back? I mean, they was, they was the top dogs of their time. They had a beautiful, humongous, historic fight. Could they have ran it back? I mean, after that fight was over, I mean, George Foreman went on to still have many more successes, and, Ali still was involved in big fights. Why they never ran this shit back? And the golden question is simple. I didn't honestly, at the time when he asked me that on the spot, I was like, I heard so much stuff after that situation. I just didn't know which actually, I heard, George was depressed, and I heard this. You heard a lot of stuff from that time. So I just kind of wanted to drill down on it a little bit. and to answer that homeboy's question. And that is this, according to George Foreman, this all comes down to this. According to George Foreman, and I quote, hold on, let me get to his quote. Okay. According to George Foreman, and I quote, Ali called me at home in California just prior to my fight with Ronnie Lyles. He said, I hear you want a rematch, and that's fine, but you must rehire Dick Sadler as your trainer. I said that Sadler would never work my corner again. And Ali responded angrily by saying there would be no rematch, end quote. And that is George Foreman on a phone call that he had with Muhammad Ali. According to George Foreman, that the reason that the rematch never happened is because he fired his current manager / trainer at the time, Dick Sadler. He sacked him because he was suspicious of the dude. He didn't understand something. And I'm going to bring this full circle. Hear me where I bring this full circle in the end. He didn't trust the dude. He looked at the dude like something wasn't right with the instructions you giving me. You know, he was saying that night that Dick Sadler gave him some of the worst corner advice that you can ever give him. And that is basically Agent George to keep on going. To keep on going. To keep on going. According to George Foreman, and I quote, every round he was telling me to attack. He was slapping my leg in the corner, urging me to get him, telling me I had Ali hurt. Not once did he ask me to stop and let Ali bring the fight to me. I was the champion that night, but it was as though that he was burning me out on purpose, end quote. That's according to George Foreman. So he's saying that he fired this dude because he's giving me terrible advice. George Foreman is starting to feel real uncomfortable with this guy in his corner. At the time, you know, while this fight was going on and prior to this fight, you know, you didn't really see any major signs, just little things here and there. But George is saying, no. This dude gave me the wrong instructions that night. And we all know that the reason that Ali beat George Foreman is because he burned himself out by Ali rope-a-doping his ass. And then Ali finished him after he was finished. And he's saying that he was edged on in the corner by his trainer to keep on doing the same thing. Now let's go. Let's keep on going deep. Let's keep on going. He says that, now this is the part that throws me out, because according to George Foreman, he also alleges, here you see it right here, that he was willing to bribe the referee. He says that Dick Sadler came to him and told him to give him $25,000 until he can give that to the referee. And George asked him, why would you do that? He says, because you have a problem with hitting people while they're down. We all recall the famous punch to Joe Frazier. When Joe Frazier tried to haul ass down the ring, pop, and got hit in the back. You know what I'm saying? They got hit again when he was on the knee. And yeah, but it was just, that was George Foreman's thing. He will hit you when you down. So they thought if we bribe the ref $25,000, then he'll kind of, you know, overlook some things and let the fight keep on going. No DQs. So and George says he gave the money to Dick Sadler, and he doesn't know if Dick Sadler gave it to the ref. Of course he doesn't know. But the point I'm making is that George was willing to bribe the referee in this fight. George was willing to bribe the referee in the Muhammad Ali fight, $25,000, to prevent him from saying, I punch you when you go down, when fighters go down. You punching fighters when they go down. You was willing to bribe the ref, George? Damn, champ. You and Dick Sadler. Now, George also states that he got calls from the Nation of Islam after the Ali fight, saying that if you want the Ali fight, you got to bring back Dick Sadler. So what is the connection here, fight fans? Where am I going? It's funny. Dick Sadler is in the corner of George Foreman, and he's telling George to go, keep on doing the thing that he shouldn't do. Dick Sadler convinced George Foreman to give him $25,000 to go and try to bribe the referee, right? Where am I going here? After this fight is over between Foreman and Ali, Dick Sadler links up with Muhammad Ali. He links up with Muhammad Ali after Foreman, and he's in the Ali entourage. And that's why George Foreman says that there was no rematch, because I wouldn't rehire Dick Sadler. Now, Dick Sadler, we go back to the beginning. We all know that him and George linked up through Sonny Liston. They linked up through Sonny Liston. George Foreman was a sparring partner of Sonny Liston. Dick Sadler at the time was the manager trainer of Sonny Liston. After George came out of the Olympics, well, when he wanted to go pro, he linked up with Dick Sadler. And Dick Sadler trained him for the first 4 years of his career. First 4. So that powerful style that we see George doing, well, a lot of people accredit that, honestly, to Dick Sadler. It was something similar to what Sonny Liston, how he fought. A lot of the people accredit that to Dick Sadler. But to see that he was so crooked, he was willing to bribe people. And then to say that he's pushing George to go hard and just to link up with Muhammad Ali afterwards. And Ali, allegedly from George Foreman, because Ali ain't here to defend himself. And this is all in George Foreman's books. Ali was like, oh, I won't fight you unless you hire Dick Sadler. As he was saying that Dick Sadler was the spy, was the mark. All of this happening under commissioned noses. All of this happening right in front. I mean, the referee being bribed, like all of this happening right there. A lot of other things that we can talk about that I'm going to leave out of this video. Now, if this happened in the 70s, right, where officials being bribed, you know, because always people say when you can't cheat nobody, man, because the commissions. If this man bribed refs, the commission, right? All of this wrongdoing, if this man felt as though somebody was in his camp, spying maybe, helping out the other side, the ops, John David Jackson. You don't think it can happen? So when Deontay Wilder comes out and says certain things, if it can happen to them, what makes you think it can't happen to him? Just asking the question. I'm just asking a question. Did anybody ever know that George Foreman tried to bribe a referee? How many of y'all boxing fans out there knew that? 25 grand in a brown paper bag. Now, according to Dick Sadler, he says he's lying and God knows it. Sadler's still alive to this day. He's what, 80-something years old? But he's saying that George is a straight up lie. And the reason that he lost to Muhammad Ali is because he fought stupid. That's according to Dick Sadler. But damn, champ. Who know? Who'd have known? Who'd have known? Who'd have known? I honestly never knew that, man. I honestly never knew that. So this is a crazy story in my opinion. Sorry about that. Hold on, fight fans. Technical difficulty here. This was a tough situation, man. I never knew played out this way. And all I'm telling y'all is, if it can happen to them, and we all talk these commissions, and everyone think that the commission is the gold standard, and this is just give you a small peek of how boxing is and how corrupt it can get. This is Big George Foreman. We talk about that fight all the time. But that small detail that George had to tell always gets left out. He attempted to bribe the referee. I'm just saying. And did Ali do something dirty with Dick Sadler? Did he do something? Was Dick Sadler giving information to Muhammad Ali? Was it? I mean, some people believe that afterwards, the reason that Ali never got back in there with Foreman is because Foreman, he was killing shit. Remember, they both fought Ronnie Lyles afterwards. Ali beat him in 11. It took Foreman 5. Remember when he rematched Smoking Joe? Smoking Joe pushed Ali to the end of the earth. Ali was ready to quit in the round prior before Joe quit. I mean, thank goodness Joe quit before Ali quit. But look what Foreman did to Joe the next time around. 5 rounds. Foreman was still destroying shit. Some people believe that Ali started to decline, so of course he wasn't going to willfully, willy-nilly jump back in there with George Foreman. Some people believe that. And maybe that could be the case. And maybe Ali did need an extra edge. Maybe he did need Dick Sadler. I don't know. But I find this funny as hell that George Foreman putting this out here like so heavy. He ain't making no excuses because he got nothing but good stuff to say about Muhammad Ali too. Don't get it twisted. He's a humble cat. You know what I'm saying? And I want to get some of that out there too. According to George Foreman, he says that Ali was the bravest man that I ever shared the ring with. And it all came down to the issue that we had with Dick Sadler. Strange things can happen in boxing matches that fighters never mention. And I may have caught him with one punch that he wasn't willing to take again. A really heavy body shot bent Ali over at the waist, and it was obvious that he was hurt. And when the bell rang to the end, that particular round, he gave me a look, and I remember thinking to myself, this is the bravest man that I have ever faced. Despite chasing the rematch, I asked myself if I truly wanted to get back in the ring with him. If Ali was a touch scared of fighting me again, then I was glad of it. End quote. That's what's up. Stand up shit from George. And stand up for him to even be airing out the fact that he did this. I asked why, because he said, you've got a habit of hitting people when they're down. And George says, I thought that we were covered. I thought that we were covered after we paid it off because I didn't see the money come back to me. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's some boxing history for your ass. So how do you see the fight now? But the point I'm trying to make is that don't ever come around and saying what commissions can and cannot do. Don't ever think that stuff can't happen right under the commission noses. Don't ever think that there are not spies in the camp and ops in the camp. You dig? Don't ever think that these things can't happen. You know what I mean? Because they can happen. And we've seen it in one of the most historic fights ever in this fight. And no one barely fucking mentions it. It's the same. We're moving on. I think I covered everything when it comes to that. Yeah, Sadler also called Foreman a dirty bum. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's lying and he knows it, says Dick Sadler. Also, George Foreman, just to kind of wrap this up, he also accused Dick Sadler of dehydrating him. He says that Sadler's fight night instructions contradicted his usual advice. Herbert Muhammad Ali's manager, told Foreman that if he re-signed with Sadler, that he'd get the rematch. Foreman said he refused. Damn. Wow. Never knew. It came all down to shit like that. And that just goes to show you, behind the scenes is always a dirty place in boxing. We moving right along. You know what I'm saying? I got one more before I get to my bread and butter story. That ain't even a bread and butter story, fight fans. I got one more before I get to that, and this is going to be real brief. It ain't really much to see here, and that is the AJ situation playing out. We all heard that the IBF has now basically said they will be flexible on the mandatory shot that was supposed to be between Anthony Joshua and Kubrat Pulev. And given that the COVID-19, and there's their statement, given the COVID-19 is out here, they are flexible, if you will, on AJ versus Pulev. So that's cool. So what's the implications here? You know what I mean? I mean, how far down are they willing to kick this? I would think with the IBF, given that their reputation with Mandos, they're usually the ones that's taken serious, right? So if they kick it down a couple months, I guess when crowds come back, my guess is they'll restart it back then. But I don't know if Eddie still has any leeway with using this to move anything out of the way. I was trying to see what kind of look around, what options that he making use this for. Who knows? Promoters are tricky as fuck. Who knows? You know what I mean? We just boxing fans. But at the end of the day, I just think that pushing this back, if anything, helps with the situation of Anthony Joshua's injury. Like, I don't know how deep the injury is. Everyone says, it's not that bad. And yeah, he was on crutches. He just injured while running and simple things like that. Well, if anything, pushing this down some helps with the fact that Anthony Joshua had that knee brace and he was on crutches. So whatever time he may need to get his shit together, well, this is the time that's going to be going for him. He's going to whoop Pulev ass anyway. But he needs that knee to do it. So they got flexible time. Now, we already know the WBO, hey, Alexander Usyk is like, I want my shot, and we ain't moving. You know what I mean? Don't know how that's going to really work out either, truth be told. It's like with the Usyk situation, there's a lot of what ifs. We don't know if Usyk's going to beat Derek Chisora. We just don't know it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of what ifs. Now that this IBF situation has been pushed down, what are they going to do? I mean, are they going to come out and say, well, then if the IBF is flexible, we ain't flexible. We still want you to make this happen. I mean, how they going to go? But the fact is that according to the WBO, we spoke on this last week, we could have got it lost in translation. I don't know. Because Paco is like, I want to see Joshua versus Fury, but the next challenger should be the WBO mandatory. So people don't know if he's saying, I want to see them fight first and then the mandatory, or saying, yeah, I would love to see that, but instead this has to happen. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think people, because I've seen 3-4 different articles on it, and they all going in different directions. One is going into the direction of saying the WBO shut it down. Then the others are going into the direction of saying, no, he wants to see Fury versus Joshua. So I don't know. I interpreted it, he wanted to see Fury versus Joshua first, and then he was going to move on to the man. I don't know. But Alexander Usyk ain't letting it, ain't taking his land down. He like, fuck that. I want my shot. You know what I mean? I deserve my shot. Let me see here. According to the IBF, their statement, given the current circumstances, we are being flexible. It is difficult to put a firm date on the mandatory obligations at the moment. Okay, cool. It says that Joshua and Pulev was originally scheduled for June at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, a first fight on British soil in 2 years for Anthony Joshua. Now, there was a lot of talk like, oh, it's going to be here, it's going to be there. Man, that shit ain't going nowhere but to the UK. It's going straight to the UK. The man ain't fought in the UK in so long. Eddie Hearn, without a doubt, it's going to the damn UK. UK, get ready for this fight sometime next year. According to Eddie Hearn, our absolute priority is to stage the fight in the UK. It would be great for sports coming back and businesses coming back to have a world heavyweight title fight taking place on these shores. He says, we've had interest from the Middle East, the Far East, yet to receive anything official from Croatia, but they have shown interest too. We'd like to do it in the UK. It's going down in the UK. And they already know they can't do it with crowds right now. They're just going to wait till they can bring the crowds back. This story is playing out all over boxing, as you notice. Fights are falling apart. Fighters are arguing about purses. No one wants to get in there. And some fighters are like, damn net. No, I'm not. Like Terrence Crawford, I ain't budging. So this is all shit pertaining to this. We basically, in a nutshell, going to get the fight once everything opens back up. You know what I mean? That's just basically going to happen. Don't know the order. Don't know how flexible they are willing to be. But they may come back out as soon as the crowds come back and say, you know what? That mandatory has to happen right now. And I can see the IBF doing that shit. I can definitely see him doing it. So we'll see. We'll see. Now, according to Bob Arum, always running his mouth. Mr. Bob Arum, loose lips, sink all the damn ships. You know what I'm saying? Bob, boy, the older he gets, he talk too damn much. We just went through this the last couple weeks with the Kinahan story. He talks too goddamn much. You know what I mean? So here's Bob, blabbering away as always. Eddie told me that the possibility of doing it at the Royal Albert Hall with 1,000 people. It'll be well spaced, serving meal and drinks, and getting the gate by making it a prestigious ticket. So he let out the bag basically that Eddie is trying to put on a fight, put this on with the who's who of the UK. If you ain't rich, if you ain't got that bag, if you ain't got them pounds, you ain't getting a ticket to this show. Bob then let out the damn bag that Eddie wants a prestigious crowd. How much you think with 1,000 people there, that Eddie, how much he gonna charge for them tickets? All because Bob then ran his damn mouth. Blabbering Bob. You know what I'm saying? Blabbering Bob. I'm sure that Eddie Hearn doesn't want the image of his show to be, oh, this is only for the rich and elite of the UK. The only top 1,000 in the UK. Bob says he's going to make it a prestigious ticket. A prestigious ticket. Listen to that, fight fans. So, yeah, you're going to get your boy AJ to my UK brethren. Y'all going to get your boy AJ. But you probably going to end up having to pay, I don't know, that money you've been saving up for a car, that money you've been saving up to send your kid to college. You fuck around going to have to pay that to get in. But at the end of the day, you'll get a chance to see AJ. Of course, Charles Martin is waiting in the wings. He's saying that, yo, man, if AJ comes back and he's really hurt on the low, I'm taking the spot. Charles Martin wants to get that shot at Pulev if it can happen. And just think, this is how Charles Martin lucked up the first time. He fuck around and luck up again. I don't know. If this dude is really hurt, Charles Martin will be the luckiest dude on earth with an F. Earth. On earth. He will be the luckiest dude on earth. But it's all good. We'll see. We'll see. So it looks like they're going to be lenient. Good for them. Because, I mean, it shouldn't be no rush back for nothing right now. Honestly, all mandatories and all of that type of stuff, everything should be flexible because you putting promoters in situations where they can't probably perform, they can't deliver the boxes, they can't deliver the purses. I mean, they under too much uncertainty right now. You know what I mean? So good for the IBF to honestly take this position. We'll see how it works out. It's the same way. It's like Dillian White. Dillian White, like, suing the WBC and shit. Like, look, how you gonna sue us, dog? We don't even know when boxing coming back. You just wasting your lawyer fees, bro. You just wasting a day in court. We don't even know when we coming back. We still got a fight to do before your fight. So we still worrying about this fight while you talking about your fight. You know what I mean? That's how they looking at Dillian White. And that's why I say he gonna lose in court. He'll be better off just sitting there, just chilling, just not speaking up until after Fury and Wilder is over. That's his best bet. That's his best bet to take action. Right now, they're going to keep hiding behind COVID-19. They're going to always hide behind, we can't do this. We can't do this because of COVID-19. Oh, we can't make this fight because of COVID-19. Y'all understand, right? Oh, we can't do this because of COVID-19. Nothing can move because of COVID-19. So Dillian may be a little premature with his legal argument. Maybe he should wait for a minute, you know what I mean? And then get him dead to rights. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I look at it. But it is what it is. So Bob Arum to let it out the bag. It is what it is. Let's move on to the bread and butter. Let's move on to the bread and butter. Now this one right here. We got to talk about my main man, Kell Brook. All right. Let me see. I'm going to try to stick to the format on this one because I'll be all over the fucking place with this. Kell Brook comes out this week speaking heavy on Terrence Bud Crawford. Basically letting the world know, in a nutshell, I want the damn fight. Not only letting them know that I want the fight, but I'm serious about taking this fight. Let it be known. I ain't looking nowhere else. I'm looking right at Terrence Crawford. Let it be known. I'm not debating, is it going to be Khan or is it going to be this guy? It's Terrence Crawford. That's what Kell Brook is saying. And it seems to me that Kell Brook has got a little bit more confidence and more gumption about himself now that COVID-19 has occurred. Not to say that he's doing a coronavirus call out. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he knows that he may have more time to get down to this weight at 147. It ain't a 3-month crunch. It ain't a 4-month crunch. It ain't a 5-month crunch. It's I can get down to that weight and take my precious time doing it. That's how he feels. We're going to get to the quotes. I'm going to say this at the top. I've already told y'all how I feel about this fight. I'm not feeling it. I want Kell to stay at 54. But I'm going to talk about this in a positive way for this time around because the way the talk is going, it's looking like we are headed in this direction. It looked like this, so we might well just, I guess, if this is going to be it, let's talk about it the way it needs to be talked about. Now, Kell Brook coming down in weight. We're going to bring everything into play. According to Kell Brook, and I quote, it's a genuine, proper fight and will capture the imagination of the transatlantic audience. It's been a testing time for us all globally. During the coronavirus pandemic and when major boxing returns, safety being paramount. Let me skip on down some. Hold on. He goes on and says, making 147 is something that Terrence and all of these American fighters seems to love to ask me to do when it's put on their toes. Would you fight Kell Brook? Tell Kell Brook to make weight. It's fine, though. It shows me that they respect my ability and take some sort of comfort from convincing themselves that it might not happen, end quote. So Kell Brook is saying what these dudes are doing is they're calling me out because they're thinking that I ain't going to make the weight. They calling me out because they thinking that, oh yeah, you just talking, it ain't gonna happen. He says, I feel real good now that they calling me now that I'm going up in weight. I feel real good about that. They didn't call him then, but they calling him now. He had to come back down in weight. That's gonna matter. But one thing I gotta tell y'all, man, if Kell Brook gets to this weight class and he got the time and he takes this serious, and he has the time to melt himself down, not do it the wrong way, not going to some sauna and sweating off, water weight. No, I mean, do it the right way over a course of months. And he gets to this weight class comfortably where before the fight, he's only walking around 10 pounds, a few pounds heavier than he needs to be. We might got to fight. This is going to be an interesting ass fight Because I'm going to tell you something. Kell Brook is strong. Kell Brook is very strong. Physically strong. Like me and Monty was just talking the other day. Physically strong. Kell Brook is strong as fuck. Kell Brook has a good skill set. Good 1-2. Good pull counter. Good boxing IQ. Good fighter. Got nothing but love for Kell Brook, and y'all already know this. Good fighter. It's going to be interesting. And he is going to push the shit out of Bud. My question only is, the main question, how long? How many rounds will we get that Kell Brook? He may come back looking sharp as a tack. Those first 5 rounds between him and Bud are going to be interesting as hell. Will be interesting. Those first 5 rounds are going to be beautiful. I told y'all even in the Earl Spence Jr. fight, that's what Kell shined. Kell shined early in that fight and took majority of the rounds. But down the stretch, we saw a different Kell. That's how Kell always kind of let these dudes get back in the... Down the stretches where Kell always had problems at. Always. And you can't be like that against Bud. You start fading against Bud if you want. I don't know, fight fans. Brook has to try and KO Bud. That's his only hope. Yeah, man. Yeah, and that's in them early rounds. But I'm going to tell you something right now, man. Brook, it was going to be a nightmare for Bud in them first 5 rounds. Let's keep on going. Hold on. He is going to be a nightmare for that man in them first 5 rounds. So he says that I boxed in February. I've been ticking over during lockdown, and I'm back in the boxing gym training by the fall time. I'll be more than ready. I will make the weight. Then I will make the weight worthwhile. 147 and strong on them scales. And then stood right in front of Terrence Crawford in that center ring, ready to dance under all of them lights. Let's get it done. That's Kell Brook. Oh, shit. We got to fight fans. We might got to fight. And hey, man, this. He says he's been staying active, and we seen him in that. His last fight was against Mark DeLuca. He looked good in that fight. I thought he even looked good in the fight before that against Zarafa. I thought he looked good in that fight. Everybody came down on him for that one round, but shit, man, I thought for the most part, Kell been looking good. His eye been looking strong. You know, you ain't been seeing him having no eye issues or concerns or whatnot. Just kind of some longer layoffs than we like, but still, his eye been looking strong. But that's been at 54. No. I don't know. Supreme Beast Boxing says, yo, man, he fades in the late rounds because the brownies start kicking in. Yeah, that's what it is. Exactly. You know what I mean? But I don't know what the fuck wrong with Kell, fam. Like, dog, this dude always fading. He can't be fading like that, man, against Bud. That's all I'm going to tell you, fam. Because of some chocolate brownies. Yeah, man. Man. And it's like he talking like, bro, he really wants this fight. He's even went down and started going into how they already linked up. Word on the curb is that, you know, they talked about it in person. You know, according to Bob Arum, they've already linked up. Well, according to Kell Brook, he've already talked face to face with Terrence Crawford for about 15 minutes, and he let him know, I want this fight. Now, we all know Terrence Crawford supposed to be facing Manny Pacquiao. Now, Bob Arum ain't talking as big about Manny today. Y'all ain't been peeping that shit. Ever since the Kinahan news came out. Peep it. Ever since the Kinahan news came out, Bob has been pulling back on the Pacquiao talk. Like, I'm not sure now, you know. Here comes the coronavirus, right? Coronavirus is happening. So, you know, we don't know. We can't do it this year. Now we're going to have to probably do it next year. You know, we got to see what's going on because now in the Middle East want to have people there and things like that. Coincidence. Daniel Kinahan situation is playing out the way it is. And all of a sudden, the Crawford and Pacquiao situation is crumbling right before our eyes. Crumbling. And according to Bob Arum now, Kell Brook is now the leading candidate. The only thing that's stopping the Kell Brook fight, according to Bob Arum, is travel restrictions. That's it. If the travel restrictions are lifted, according to Bob Arum, then guess what? We got to fight. Bud is going to wash Kell. That's a good litmus test for Earl. I feel you. That's exactly what I was about to say, fam. That is a great test for Earl. If all of the debates that we have on this YouTube shit, if there's anybody that's going to test him outside, I think Sean Porter would have been a good test too. But anybody outside of Sean Porter And it's going to be Kell Brook. If Bud gets through Kell Brook and beats him in a way super convincing, because Bud got a habit of beating people worse than other people beat them, you know what I'm saying? But if he get in there and he do it, it's a great test for Earl. The talk is going to go through the roof. So it's not a bad fight. It's just that, for me, the excuses are baked in this fight. People are going to be like, oh, he beat away Drain Brook. Oh, Earl already beat him. What is this really going to do for Crawford? Oh, Kell is a big name. Nobody know no goddamn Kell Brook. That's just my problem with this. My problem with this is I'm tired of seeing Bud fight this type fight. I've seen this a million times. If he beat him, he won't get no credit. Y'all ain't gonna give him no credit. So I'm tired of seeing it. So let's just cut the shit. Kell Brook comes with a whole busload of excuses. I like Kell, and that's my main man, and y'all already know. I fucks with him heavy. But Kell is doing something that's totally, no. Bro, the man hasn't fought at 147 since 2016. What? Well, 20. No, I'm sorry. It might not be 20. Maybe 2018. When did him and Spence fight? Was that 2016 or 2018? I had that, bro. Hold on. Nah. I don't know. I know it's been a while since he's been at welterweight. I think 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say 2017. That's when it was, 2017. It's been 3 years since Kell Brook been at welterweight. So it comes with a whole boatload of excuses. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I feel about it. According to Kell Brook, and he says that, according to Bob Arum, he says that the talks for this fight began earlier this year. He says that, and I quote, "I was coming into New York and I was going to meet with them before the Shakur fight. We made a time and so forth to meet. And I would have said to Kell Brook, how much do you want to fight Terrence? And I'd like to do it in the United States. But there was no travel ban then. So hopefully by September and October, we'll be able to do the fight with a limited number of spectators, whether it's in Vegas or Nebraska. And the travel ban will be lifted." Nice. According to Kell Brook, in reply to that, Bob is absolutely right to be talking about the fight. He is an astute man, and very few, if any, understand the sport and business of boxing like him. Me and my team want the fight. To make it clear, it's the very top of my wish list. I met Bob and Terrence out in Vegas during the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury 2 week and told them both that I wanted. My management team then got in touch with Bob, and he invited us to the Shakur Stevenson fight in Madison Square Garden in March. He said we flew to New York the week the international lockdown came into effect, and the card got pulled away the very day we landed. He said, but while the lockdown meant we didn't get to see Bob, that very same evening, I bumped into Terrence and Shakur doing some wrestling in the hotel lobby. We had a good chat for 15 minutes. Terrence is a good guy, excellent fighter. Our styles would definitely gel and give the fans one hell of a fight. Switch hitters with impeccable timing and ability to counter or be aggressive. We looked each other in the eye, and he knows that I want that fight. I told him the very same thing, and he seems to be up for it too. It makes perfect sense for him, so let the lockdown situation relent, and as soon as the restrictions allow travel, then of course I'll go and fight him in the United States. I know that was a long quote. Sorry, fight fans. But that just lets you know. I just want people to know this ain't bullshit. He wants Bud. He wants Bud. He say, look, I came over there solo. I'm supposed to meet up with him. They say the meeting was off. Oh, fuck that. So he found Bud. Meeting ain't off. What's up, man? Bud talking face to face. Looked him in the eye. He know I want it. This fight is possible. It might be happening. It's going to be interesting as shit. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Like I told y'all, Brook is strong. First 6 to 8 rounds could be tough for Crawford. Brook must fight at a pace. Try boxing early. What I mean at a pace, something that a lot of the Earl Spence Nation always come to me and tell me, oh, well, you know, where Kell Brook made the mistake at is that he fought at, Earl turned the pace up, and Kell Brook couldn't go to the next level of pace. He had to stay at his own pace. Well, he will need to dictate that type of fight against Terrence. He will need to dictate his pace and allow the fight to go at his pace because he's the one that's got to, make this weight. He's the one with the down the stretch issues. So he's going to have to fight this pace and make the fight go at his pace. Will Terrence Crawford allow him to do that? Will he allow him to do that? The orbital bone has been holding up. So that's really good for him. Doesn't look like he's been having no problems with the orbital bone. You know what I mean? Says that good test for Errol Spence. This is going to be a really good test for Errol Spence. What will making the weight take out of Kell will be the golden question. Everyone is going by this Kell Brook from years ago. Is that Kell Brook still there at 147? Do we know that? Do we know that? I'm just saying, do we know that? The perfect boxing model is Marvin Hagler's or Sugar Ray's career. Not jump around weight classes or Tommy Hearns and James Toney. Go up and up gradually and not come down. Yeah, you're right, fam. You're right. It's never suggested to go back down. Especially for a dude who, for even years prior to him moving up, like he was always criticized for weight. Kell Brook has missed weight in the past. Kell Brook has fought at catch weights, at higher catch weights, and fought better. Kell is and these are years ago issues. These are issues that are years ago. What issues you think he's facing today? And he's already been fighting at 54 for the last couple years. I'm just saying. But he got to fight at his pace, bro. Is this going to be the same Kell Brook that's drained down to 147? Is he going to be the same cat from years ago? That's a golden question. Bud needs to stay focused. Keep his composure. Even if he loses rounds. I see Kell Brook stealing some rounds early on Terrence Crawford. But Terrence Crawford would need to stay composed and ready to take that fight down the stretch if need be. If you lose some rounds, so be it. Kell Brook is a master at stealing rounds. He's very strong, hard to push back, and he's going to stand his ground. He's going to stand his ground. He's going to try to work that pull counter, work those 1-2s. He may feel as though he's the stronger fighter. He's going to try to tie you up at times. I'm telling you, Bud will have to keep his composure. Everybody say, yo, Bud got this dog in the main man made, man. Whenever he gets hit, he got to do it back. Well, that can't be the case here. I don't think this would be a smart thing. And if he does turn it up to that gear, it's just like Earl, man. Earl laid a beautiful blueprint in a way. Take it down a stretch and take it up to that second gear. Early, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Do y'all see Bud pushing Kell back? Stylistically, great fight. Both men must do what they do great. Whatever the things that they both do great. What Terrence does great. What Kell does great. They will have to both be all that shit will have to be working on this night. All of it. The sad thing is though, we're really, you know what, man? Like when I think about this fight, real shit. Like the fucked up thing is, if Kell Brook, just like in the Errol Spence Jr. fight, like if Kell Brook is up, and then going down the stretch, just cannot deliver, that's just gonna be terrible. That's just gonna be a terrible, terrible look. A terrible look. That's fucked up, man. That's why I say I don't like this fight at 4-7. I can see him even being up. I can see him being up, and then just totally losing the fight in the second half. I don't know. But I want to get into what Bob Arum said about the other fighters. Because we all know that the news, like I told y'all, Pacquiao was the leading candidate originally. Now Kinahan's situation's playing out. Now no one's talking about Pacquiao no more. So now they're saying that Brook is the leading guy. When they asked him about Sean Porter, he's basically saying that he can't afford Sean Porter right now during COVID-19. When they asked him about Yordenis Ugas, he says that, well, with Yordenis Ugas, nobody knows him. Which is true. Still a good fight. And I love to see it. But Bud's status, it's way up there, man. And it's the same thing that, Errol Spence Jr. said the other day. He's like, I like Ugas, tough fighter, really good fighter, but doesn't have a big name. And for the number one pound for pound fighter, there's anybody in boxing can stand back and say, well, this guy has a big name. I don't want to fight him. It's him, to me. Maybe not to y'all, but to me. Because he earned that. He's at that position where say, this guy, he's a good fighter, tough dude. Get a couple more big wins and we'll meet. He's earned that. He has earned that. But given that Ugas and him have histories since the amateurs, and Ugas has beaten him in the past, no. Maybe Bud got more he might want to prove on that. But we'll see. So this is looking like real talk, fight fans. This is looking like real talk, man. I don't know, man. It's just gonna be a good ass fight, bro. But I just see Bud in the second half taking this shit away, bro. You know what I mean? Kell Brook starting to fade, man, slowing down. Bud coming on strong, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I may put $20 on a shock early inside 6. Kell Brook win. Maybe a waste of money though. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's a good chance. That's your best bet. I'm going to say that. That's your best bet. Lawrence says, yo, Brook looked good to me in his last 3 fights at 54. He posed the same threat as Sean Ugas would pose to him. Yeah, but I think Sean is a relentless guy who's built for the 40s. Like, he's trained himself to operate at that pace and level at 47. Kell can't. I don't know if Kell can sustain it. That's my problem. You know, I just don't know if Kell can sustain it. But Bud is not a higher pace fighter than Earl Spence Jr. Maybe Bud doesn't push Kell to that point. Maybe Bud takes his time in there and try to outbox Kell and run into a problem. Who knows? It will be interesting if Bud took that strategy too. Damn. But it would take for Bud to deplete him in a way. It would definitely take. Bud will have to be cautious early, be very cautious, but he's going to have to make him work. Because Kell, you don't want him to stay fighting at a slow pace, going down to about round 7 or 8. He's still fighting a strong version of Kell Brook. That's going to be dangerous. That will be dangerous. But this fight is looking like real talk, man. Real talk. So we'll see. Well, fight fans, I think that's going to wrap it up for the homeboy today, man. I think that's going to wrap it up. Without the IBF hydration clause, Brook would have been stronger. Good point. Very, very good point. There was a 10-pound rehydration that Brook was also working under with the IBF. That is a very, very good point. Yeah, he might would have been stronger. He wasn't allowed to rehydrate properly. And on top of that, he was shrinking down. But there's other evidence and proof of Kell Brook at 147 just not being down the stretch. I mean, numerous fights down the stretch. I ain't talking the Kevin Bizier fights and shit like that. I mean, down the stretch, when you push him, yo, it's like in the Sean Porter fight. Kell fought at his pace. Kell kept Sean Porter bottled up and in check. And yeah, Sean may have been trying to come and do all that wild, but Kell can grab him and hold him. Slow his ass down. Put him back, put that 1-2 on him, pop, grab him. I'm going to slow you down. And that's what I'm saying. Kell at that high pace. And I don't even know how. I haven't seen Bud fight in a 12-round fight. I can't recall him. In the Jeff Horn, he fought at a pretty high pace. Pretty high pace in the Jeff Horn fight. But for the whole fight, Bud gives you so many different looks and tries so many different things where he slows himself down in a way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Those rehydration clauses are nonsense and dangerous. Should be illegal. Yeah, that's the IBF rules, man. Don't fight for that title if you don't want to go ahead and obey that, you know. Lawrence says that Carson Jones pushed Brook in the first fight. Pushed him, gave Brook all he can handle. And it took Brook to come back in that rematch, at 151, 152 catch weight? It took Brook to do that. So, you know, I'm going to go back to this. I'm just blown away why Brook ain't going for Patrick Texer. Why ain't Brook going for Patrick Texer? I get it. It's a money fight. The bigger money is with Terrence Crawford. I get it. But he can go on and make a good name at 54, beating Patrick Texer, getting a world championship, and then cashing in. It would just be, to me, a little better. It makes sense. It would make him a 2-division champion instead of a 1-division champion and Khan's puppet. It would make him a 2-division champion, all that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I just think that shit is right for the taking, bruh. Right for the I think he can get Texer. I don't know. Crawford will beat the brakes off Brook. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I just think Crawford takes this, in my opinion. I'm a Kell Brook fan, too. And I'm big on Kell Brook. If this fight was being talked about at 154, if this fight was being talked about at a catchweight, we'd have a different conversation. If this fight was being talked about at a 152, a 151, the conversation would be a little bit different. Because I've seen Kell Brook look phenomenal at those weights. But 147, I just cannot. I'm just not going to be able to get all the crying and the moaning and the belly aching that fucking Eddie Hearn did. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff that I told Kell Brook to not go to 47. I knew he would be drained. I knew this. I knew that. And then what do we see? You going back to 4. When Khan tried to bring him to 4. I don't know, bro. The question is, you know, and even at first, I had my doubts on whether Kell was even going to make weight. I said, Kel ain't gonna make that goddamn way. It just ain't gonna happen. He ain't even wanting to go there for Khan. But now that he's been given extra time, now that the coronavirus slows everything down, and they talking maybe sometime in the fall or early next year. You know, Bud already told you, I'm not fighting for low money, so they're going to need crowds to pay Bud. And for a fight of this magnitude, this can be big. They may even throw it on pay-per-view. I don't know. But all I do know is that extra time is going to be major beneficial to Kel. And that's only if Kel remain in discipline. You dig? I don't know what he over there in the Ingle gym doing. You know what I mean? He back over there with Dom Ingle again. So that's if Kel is being disciplined. If Kel is being disciplined, sticking to the script, sticking to the game plan, serious, losing this weight at a slower pace, and got much more time to do it, focusing more on game plan and less on weight loss, I'm telling you, man, we got to fight. We got to fight. But I'm going to lean towards Bud. You know what I'm saying? Let me catch up with some of y'all comments. Hold on. I'm going to lean towards Bud, fam. I'm going to lean. But damn, boy, what a test for Earl. What a test for Earl. I think I got to everybody. Yeah, Lawrence says, man, I got Bud, but I don't think it's easy. Nah, it ain't going to be easy. Leader Josh is, man, I bet it ends up like Khan versus Bud. Yeah, well, I hope not. My thing is, if it does, then fine. Fuck it. Do it the right thing that you're supposed to do from the jump and keep your ass at 54. How about doing that? Going after Patrick Texer, the WBO. You know what I mean? Maybe he don't like the WBO. WBO carried the hell out of Kell Brook back in the day. They wouldn't give him the Manny Pacquiao shot. That also led to Kell Brook leaving Frank Warren and hooking up with Eddie Hearn. So maybe he got a thing against the WBO. We like, you know what? I don't want to deal with them. They didn't want me to fight Manny Pacquiao. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. But the Patrick Texera situation, I think, is right for the taking. They both fight on DAZN. You know, Eddie will do business with Golden Boy. What we talking about? Keith Thurman will validate Bud's resume if he wins. That is pay-per-view worthy. That'll be a great fight. Yeah, you know, we talked about that too. Y'all see the live stream I do in the last one? Man, we talked about that. How all of these cats want deals now. Bud talked about that. Everybody want deals now. Nobody wanted a deal before coronavirus. Everybody was like, nah, my side of the street. Now everybody want a deal. Coronavirus comes out, everybody brave. Everybody like, send me a deal. I'll fight Bud. Yeah, who's Bud? But then as soon as coronavirus ends, you know what? I got to go to the tune-up. And I would have liked if he got to come back on my side of the street and blah, 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 blah. So we'll see. But I'd love to see Bud versus Thurman, bro. I'd love to see Bud versus Danny. That's my first pick. Always remember, Danny and Bud is my first two pick. You know what I'm saying? Ray Cliff says that Keith. I already read that. Curtis Anderson in the building. What's up, family? What's up, Curtis? What's going on, man? Crawford will beat the brakes off Brook. I already read it. Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, we'll see, man. It's gonna be a good fight. I think so too. I'm leaning towards turns Bud Crawford, but this fight looks like real talk. It's looking like amongst everybody that they're talking about, Manny Pacquiao. Who else was the other mentioned names for him? Whoever they're mentioning for Terrence Crawford, it seems as if Kell Brook may be the most realistic part. Now, they ain't talking about money yet. You know what I mean? I ain't heard nothing about no money and nothing about no splits. I don't think we got that far along yet, but we'll see. You know, things got a funny way of breaking down when you get to that part. Things got a funny way of not happening, or we get all hyped up and, you know what? No, we just couldn't come to terms and blah, blah, the fuck. So we'll see. I hope so. We'll see. And I actually rather not. I think it's Crawford's frame. See, I think it's Crawford's frame. I think it's Crawford's frame. His body is long and thin. Looks like an alien, but he fights like a lion. He is not what he looks. Got to love that all day. That's that hidden strength. Yeah, he's that wiry strong. You know what I mean? That's that hidden strength. You really don't know how strong he is. And on top of that, another thing that Crawford don't get a lot of credit for is his punch placement. His punch placement is solid, bro. I'm telling you, sometimes with good punch placement, you don't have to be the strongest person in the world. You could just have great punch placement and wearing that opponent down. We about to get up out of here, though, fight fans. I'm going horse, and I've been rolling for a minute, man. I think over an hour. I think we run across that hour timeline. That's going to be my show for the day. That's going to be my time, man. I come back to y'all Wednesday. We'll have some more good topics to talk about, man. But yeah, man, a lot of good shit going on, man. A lot of good shit. But let's keep our eyes to the horizon. Keep on looking for the good things to happen in boxing. Big upset this week. Joshua Greer. God damn, Joshua Greer. Minor setback for a major comeback, shawty. I hope you get it together, man. Real spill, man. But new star may have been born this week. Michael Plania. I think that was his name. So it is what it is. Hopefully y'all learned a little something from the George Foreman and Ali situation in this particular episode, man. Never knew that George Foreman attempted to bribe the referee in the Muhammad Ali fight. Never knew that he slipped them $25,000 in a brown paper bag. And George Foreman pins the reason that the rematch never happened on Dick Sadler, because Muhammad Ali wanted him to hire Dick Sadler. And since he didn't rehire him back, Muhammad Ali never gave the rematch. And last but not least, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor off, at least for now. And last but not least, this Terrence Crawford versus Kell Brook looks like real talk. Much love to the fans all day, man. Thumbs up on the way out if you did not hit it on the way in, man. This was a cool ass show, man. Always good to vibe with the fam, man. And y'all already know, man. On the next episode, maybe we'll do another contest, man. Maybe come up with some crazy ass questions to ask y'all, man. Keep rocking with the homie. Much love to y'all. Enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. Stay safe out there. Stressed and sucker free. Remember, the devil is omnipresent. He is everywhere, and he's trying to ruin your whole weekend. Don't even let that happen. Much love to the fam. Much love to the fam, and y'all know who you are, and I appreciate you rocking with Main Man Made Man. And like I always say, to the next one, peace out.